great suffering or serious injury to body or to mental or physical health. The core offense in the instant case is the crime against humanity. Thus, we have to see what elements are required to constitute this crime. In Section 4 of the Act, there must be an attack. B. The attack must be widespread or systematic. C. The attack must be targeted a civilian population. D. The attack must be within the knowledge of the superior, or the superior should have known of the attack in order to hold him or her liable for the crime. The superior must have been in the control over the concerned subordinates. Elements of superior command responsibility. From the jurisprudence and eminent from the international crimes tribunals, it is generally agreed that 4 elements must be proven for a person to be held responsible as superior. The elements are: 1. An international crimes must have been perpetrated by someone other than the accused. 2. There existed a superior-subordinate relationship between the accused and the perpetrator. 3. The accused as a superior knew or had reason to know that the subordinate was about to commit such crimes or had done so. 4. The accused as a superior failed to take the necessary and reasonable measure to prevent such crimes or punish the perpetrator. Section 4, subsection 2 of the International Crimes Tribunal Act provides that any commander or superior officer who orders, permits, acquires, or participates in the commission of any of the crimes specified in Section 3 or is connected with any plans and activities involving the commission of such crimes, or who fails or omits to discharge his duty to maintain discipline or to control or supervise the actions of the persons under his command or his subordinates, whereby such persons or subordinates or any of them commit any such crime, who fails to take necessary measures to prevent the commission of such crime is guilty of such crimes. Now, I am going to read the charges. On the point of the jurisdiction of this tribunal raised by the learned State Defense Council, it may be noted that there is no scope in law to raise such question, since question of jurisdiction of the tribunal is barred by Section 24 of the International Crimes Tribunal Act. Regarding the allegations against the accused, he merely made flat denials thereto, without showing anything subsistence contrary to the acts complained of. On the other hand, on perusal of the formal charges and the documents submitted therewith, and also in consideration of the submission of the learned Chief Prosecutor and the learned State Defense Council, it has been made to appear to us that there are sufficient grounds for framing charges against the accused under Section 3, subsection 2, read with Section 4 of the Act. On hearing both sides, 5 charges were framed against accused Sheikh Hasina individually, and separate 5 charges were framed against accused Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and Chaudhry Abdullah Al-Mamun jointly. But on scrutiny of the documents and examination of the witnesses of the tribunal, deems to condign to reshape the charges for ends of justice, and accordingly the same charges framed earlier have been modified in the following manner. Charge number 1. Incitement and order to attack and kill protesting students of Dhaka University and other academic institutions of the country, and also failure to take preventive and punitive measures, and thus killing hundreds and severely injuring thousands of protesters. During July Uprising 2024, commencing on 1st July 2024 and ending on 5th August 2024, accused Sheikh Hasina as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh and the President of the ruling party of Bangladesh, Awami League, as well as 14th Party Alliance, in a press conference on 14/7/24 at Gaurabhavan, made the following derogatory remark. মুক্তিযোদ্ধার নাতিপুতিরা চাকরি পাবে না তো কি রাজাকারের নাতিপুতিরা চাকরি পাবে? If the grandchildren of freedom fighters should not get job, should the grandchildren of rajakars get it? Pointing towards the protesters of anti-discrimination student movement while demanding rational reform of quota system in government job, whereby the left defamed and defamed and aggrieved, since Rajakars are considering as collaborators of occupant Pakistan army during liberation war of 71. And thereafter, the term has been being used to stigmatize an individual or group of individuals as enemy of the state of the people. Moreover, in a telephonic conversation with ASM Maksud Kamal, the then Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University, Sheikh Hasina, mentioned that she ordered to hang the protesters as the Rajakars have been hanged before. Furthermore, being incited and inspired by the said remark, Cabinet Minister and Awami League Secretary Obaidul Qadir, separately charged, made another provocative, aggressive remark on 15th July of 2024 at 12 noon, saying, Andolon Domone Chhatroligi Jotheshto. Chhatroligi is enough to bring the movement under control. And as such,
the students, female and male, came down to the streets
chanting slogans against herself and her party of government. Meanwhile, her subordinates, including the cabinet members, police and other law enforcing agencies, activists of four-party Awami League and its affiliated and allied organization go to incited and inspired of the aforesaid remarks of you and Obaidul Qadir, and thus they launched widespread and systematic attack within your full knowledge upon the peaceful statement protesters in Dhaka University, causing 297 students injured and many others in different educational institutions throughout the country, including Rangpur Begum Rokeya University, where Abu Said was brutally shot dead by police. By your incitement and order to kill the protesting students who have been injured and killed as aforesaid, and also by failure to take preventive and punitive measure against the perpetrators, accused Sheikh Hasina committed the crimes against humanity under Section 3, subsection 2, under Section 4, subsection 1, clause B, and Section 4, clause 3, subsection 3, read with Section 20A of the International Crimes Tribunal Act 1973. Charge number 2. Order to use lethal weapon, drones and helicopters to kill the protesters and execution of the order. During the July uprising 2024, accused Sheikh Hasina held a conversation over telephone with Dr. ASM Maksud Kamal, the then Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University, from Gaurabhavan on 14th July 2024 at about 11 p.m., wherein she mentioned that she already ordered to kill the protesters like the Rajakars who have been hanged before. Again on July 18th, Sheikh Hasina conversed over telephone with Sheikh Fazlur Nur Taposh, the then Mayor of Dhaka South City Corporation, mentioning that she had already given direction to the law enforcement agencies to use helicopter and lethal weapons to kill and eliminate the peaceful, unarmed civilian protesters, and also ordered them to use drones to locate the protesters. She also told him that she passed orders to arrest and protesters across the country. As a result of above statement, directions, the Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and the Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamun successively implemented the directions through their underlings, that is law enforcing agencies, by deploying drones and helicopters in the sky, killing about 1,400 protesters, including women and children, indiscriminately and gravely injuring about 25,000 of them throughout the country by using lethal weapons everywhere from 16th July 2024 and helicopters somewhere from 18 July 2024 up to 5th August 2024, and thereby Sheikh Hasina, Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamun committed crimes against humanity as a joint criminal enterprise punishable under Section 3, Subsection 2, Clause A, G, H, Section 4, Clause B, C, Section 4, Subsection 3, read with Section 20A of the International Crimes Tribunal Act. Charge number 3. Killing 6 protesters at Chankharpur with lethal weapons. The protesters convened a program titled March to Dhaka to be held on 5th August and made a call to the people of all walks throughout the country to march to Dhaka on the scheduled day. People of all spheres began to assemble in Dhaka from every part of the country on August 5th. By incitement, order and inaction of Sheikh Hasina, by abetment and inaction of Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamun, the successive underlings got incited and inspired to kill the protesting students and common people, and thereupon under order, supervision and inaction of accused Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal, Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamun and then Dhaka Metropolitan Commissioner DMP Habibur Rahman, Joint Commissioner Shudip Kumar Chakraborty, Additional Deputy Commissioner Shah Al Alam Muhammad Akhtar Ul Islam, Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Imrul and Inspector Muhammad Arshad Hussain, who have been separately prosecuted, successively ordered to commit atrocities to the protesters assembled at Chankharpur of Dhaka and supervised the same, and during such atrocities 6 unarmed protesters, namely Shahriyan Khan Anas, Sheikh Mahdi Hassan Junaid alias Mustaqin, Muhammad Yaqub, Muhammad Rakib Hawladar, Muhammad Ismamul Haq and Manik Mia alias Shahrik were shot dead by Constable Shujan Hussain, Constable Imaj Hussain and Constable Nasirul Islam, who have been separately prosecuted at Chankharpur as part of widespread and systematic attack. The aforesaid killings took place pursuant to the order of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, within her full knowledge and under order, supervision and within the knowledge of Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamun, and by such killings they committed crimes against humanity as joint criminal enterprise by order, abetment and inaction to prevent and punish the perpetrators under Section 3, Subsection 2, read with Tribunal Act 1973.
So these are now the turn of learned member 1. It transpires from the prosecution witnesses deposed in corroboration of the facts of incitement and order of accused Sheikh Hasina to deploy drones and helicopters and also to use lethal weapons to kill the protesters. The daily newspapers of Bangladesh also published reports of such incitement and order of Sheikh Hasina. Moreover, the prosecution executed the pendrive CD containing telephonic conversation of Sheikh Hasina with Dhaka University Vice Chancellor A.K.M. Maqsood Kamal, Dhaka South City Corporation Mayor Fazlenur Taposh and Hassanul Haq Inu. The concerned device containing the said conversations have been played in the tribunal, and thereupon we find that in the conversation with the Dhaka University Vice Chancellor A.S.M. Maqsood Kamal accused Sheikh Hasina mentioned that she already ordered to hang the students as Razakars have been hanged. Now I am mentioning the substantial portion from his conversation with, from her conversation with ASM Maksud Kamal, the accused Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University. Sheikh Hasina, তো রাজাকারের তো ফাঁসি দিছি, এবার তাদেরও তাই করব, একটাও ছাড়ব না, আমি বলে দিচ্ছি। শেখ হাসিনা, কোন দেশে বাস করি আমরা? এদেরকে বাড়তে বাড়তে তো রাজাকারের অবস্থা হয়েছে, দেখিস নাই? সবগুলোকে ফাঁসি দিছি, এবার তোদেরও ছাড়ব না। শেখ হাসিনা, সব এইগুলাকে বাইর করে দিতে হবে, আমি বলে দিছি আজকে সহ্য করার পরে অ্যারেস্ট করবে, ধরে নেবে এবং যা অ্যাকশন নেওয়ার নেবে। Then it also appears from the conversation with Dhaka South City Corporation Mayor Fazlinur Taposh, accused Sheikh Hasina told him that she ordered to kill the protesting students by using helicopters and lethal weapons. The substantial portion of the conversation is Sheikh Hasina, দরকার নাই, ওটা দরকার নাই, আমি সেনাপ্রধানের সাথে কথা বলেছি, ওরা রেডি থাকবে, ঠিক আছে। এখন তো আমরা অন্য করতেছি, ড্রোন দিয়ে ছবি নিচ্ছি আর হেলিকপ্টারে হচ্ছে মানে কয়েক জায়গায়। তাপস, তাহলে ওই কিছু ছবি দেখে পাকড়াও করা যায় না তাদের রাতের মধ্যে? শেখ হাসিনা, সবগুলিকে অ্যারেস্ট করতে বলেছি রাত্রে। তাপস, হ্যাঁ, পাকড়াও করলে ওদেরকে। শেখ হাসিনা, না, ওটা বলা হয়ে গেছে, ওটা নিয়ে র্যাব, ডিজিএফআই, এনএসআই সবাইকে বলা হয়েছে যে যেখান থেকে যে কয়টা পারবা ধইরা পেল। তাপস, জি। শেখ হাসিনা, ওটা বলা আছে, আর এখানে গ্যাদারিং দেখবে সেখানে, আর যেখানে গ্যাদারিং দেখবে সেখানে ওই উপর থেকে করাচ্ছি, অলরেডি শুরু হয়েছে কয়েকটা জায়গায়। তাপস, জি। শেখ হাসিনা, আমার নির্দেশনা দেওয়া আছে, ওপেন নির্দেশনা দিয়ে দিছি, এখন লেথাল উইপন ব্যবহার করবে, যেখানে পাবে সোজা গুলি করবে। তাপস, জি জি। শেখ হাসিনা, না পড়াইয়া দিছে, মেশিনপত্র সব পড়ে গেছে, আমি বলছি যা পড়াতে, ও আমাদের সেতু ভবন পড়াইছে। তাপস, জি, ওরা রাতে মনে হয় আরো ব্যাপক আক্রমণ করবে। In the conversation with the Hasanullah Inu, accused Sheikh Hasina mentioned of bombing upon the protesters from the helicopter. The substantial portion, relevant portion from the conversation. Sheikh Hasina, না, আমি বলছি ক্যাজুয়ালিটির দরকার নাই, ওরা ব্যারিকেড নিয়ে আছে তো ঠিক আছে, আকাশ থেকে নামবে, তখন দুই পাশ দিয়ে ধরবে, মেসেজটা দিয়ে দিতে পারেন যে সেনা পাঠানো হচ্ছে আর হেলিকপ্টার দিয়ে সোজা বম্বিং করা হবে, র্যাবের হেলিকপ্টার দিয়ে উপর দিয়ে মারবে। হাসানুল্লাহ কিনু, আপনি এই জামাত শিবিরের মেরুদণ্ডতা আবার ভেঙে দেন ঢাকা শহরে। শেখ হাসিনা, একেবারে। শেখ হাসিনা, হ্যালো। হাসানুল্লাহ কিনু, হ্যালো, জি, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি ইনু বলছিলাম। হ্যালো। শেখ হাসিনা, হ্যাঁ বলেন। আচ্ছা, আমি এটা স্ক্রলে দিয়ে দিতে বলছি যে তোমরা ছাত্ররা সব ঘরে ফেরো, গার্ডিয়ানদেরকে বলছি এইখানে কিন্তু জঙ্গি হামলা হয়েছে। হাসানুল্লাহ কিনু, হ্যাঁ, এটা রাইট। শেখ হাসিনা, না, এটা আমাকে বেশ কিছু আন্তর্জাতিক পাইছি, তারা এটাকে জঙ্গি হামলা হিসাবে কনসিডার বলতেছে। হাসানুল্লাহ কিনু, হ্যাঁ, জঙ্গি হামলাই হয়েছে, এই কার্ডটা খেলবো আমরা এখন। শেখ হাসিনা, না, কার্ড খেলা না, এটা আমি আগে করি নাই, কিন্তু আমাকে আন্তর্জাতিক সংস্থা থেকে মেসেজটা দিচ্ছে যে এটা জঙ্গি হামলা। হাসানুল্লাহ কিনু, জঙ্গি সন্ত্রাসের মোকাবিলা করছে এখন সরকার। শেখ হাসিনা, তারা আমাকে এটাই বলছে যে এটা জঙ্গি হামলা, দিয়ে দিব পেপারে। Reports of international and national organizations. United Nations Human Rights Office held an investigation into July-August 2024 atrocities in Bangladesh and mentioned in its report that the following inhuman and unlawful acts were committed by protesters during the movement and reports as follows. Reported as follows. Based on direct testimony from senior officials involved and other inside sources, OHCHR was able to establish that the integrated and systematic effort using the entire range of police, paramilitary, military and intelligence actors, as well as violent elements linked to the Awami League to commit serious violations and abuses occurred with the full knowledge, coordination and direction of the political leadership. The then Prime Minister and Home Affairs Minister led parallel efforts to coordinate the security and intelligence apparatus. Both received regular reports on the situation on the ground from multiple sources. According to senior official testimony, reports provided to the Prime Minister by senior officers on 21 July and in early August specifically conveyed concern about excessive use of force. Both political leaders and the leadership of Bangladesh Police and the Army also carried out site visits that would have provided them direct personal knowledge of violations that had taken place or were ongoing. Furthermore, the political leadership issued direct orders and other directives authorizing and guiding operations by BGB, RAB, DGRI, the Bangladesh Police and its detective branch that involved serious violations of human rights against protesters and other civilians, including extrajudicial killings and arbitrary detention. Based on reported deaths complied by governmental and non-governmental sources in combination with other available evidence, OHCHR assesses that as many as 1,400 people could have been killed during the protests. The vast majority of whom were killed by military rifles and shotguns loaded with lethal metal pellets commonly used by Bangladesh's security forces. Thousands more suffered severe, often life-altering injuries. More than 11,700 people were arrested and detained, according to the information from the police and RAB provided to OHCHR. Government attempted to intimidate and delegitimate the student protest movement, mobilized of Chhatra League, police and paramilitary forces,
materialize of policing in Bangladesh, incited violence by armed Awami League and activists on and around university premises, conducted coordinated attacks by armed Awami League supporters and the police, use of force violations by police, RAB and BGB, including extrajudicial killing, like killing Abu Said of Begum Ruqya University, Rangpur, 16 July, made systematic, indiscriminate use of shotguns loaded with lethal ammunition, suppressed peaceful assembly at Dhaka University on 17 July. Police, RAB and BGB extrajudicially killed protesters in Uttara on 18 July. Disproportionate and indiscriminate use of firearms in response to violent unrest, indiscriminately shooting in Rampura and Badda by BGP and police on July 19. Violently cleared the Dhaka-Chattogram highway in Jatrabari on between 16 to 21 July. Extrajudicial killings to suppress the march to Dhaka on August 5 involved the army, who shot at protesters at Jamuna Future Park on 5th August 2024, used helicopter to intimidate and deploy possibly unlawful force, obstructed of medical care and denied necessary medical documentation, obstructed medical treatment of victims Sheikh Asabul Yamin, shot by police, caused mass arbitrary arrests, detention without due process, and torture and ill treatment, caused block raids and mass arrests, including injured persons. Students and opposition leaders attacked journalists, children, and women, and caused unjustified shutdown of internet. In the said report, Mr. Volker Turk, the High Commissioner of Human Rights Office of United Nations, that the atrocities committed in July Revolution 2024 in Bangladesh was preconcerted and systematic in order to remaining in power. There are cogent grounds to believe that hundreds of extrajudicial killings, arrests, detention, and torture were carried out by the political leaders and the highest law enforcing authorities within their knowledge and under their direction and supervision as strategy to suppress the movement, whereby human rights have been seriously violated and thus international crimes have been committed. He also observed that the evidences collected do depict a picture of widespread state atrocities and targeted killings. He further remarked that such atrocities ought to be brought under accountability. There are many other similar reports by the Global Institute International Truth and Justice Project, Bloodshed in Bangladesh, World Report 2025 of Human Rights Watch. Then we are going to videos of the occurrences. It appears from the Caesar list contained in Volume 4, captions, Caesar list, and documentary evidence that a good number of videos of the alleged occurrences have been seized by the investigating officer, which are described below. Number 1. A video of 1 hour 23 minutes and 5 seconds showing a press conference dated 14 July 2024 of accused Sheikh Hasina after her return from China, in which she, in answer to a question of one journalist, angrily remarked, pointing towards the protesting students, মুক্তিযুদ্ধের বিরুদ্ধে আর মুক্তিযোদ্ধার বিরুদ্ধে এত ক্ষোভ কেন? মুক্তিযোদ্ধাদের নাতিপুতিরা চাকরি পাবে না তো কি রাজাকারের নাতিপুতিরা পাবে? Number 2, a video of 35 seconds dated 15 July 2024 showing protest of the agitated students of Dhaka University at midnight against the remark of Sheikh Hasina made in the press conference dated 14 July 2024 pointing towards the protesting students. Number 3, a video showing the remark Rajakarder jawab debe Chhatrolig. Number 4, a video of 1 minute 5 seconds which shows attack upon the students of Kota movement by Bangladesh Chhatrolig leaders and activists on 15 July 2024 at night. A video which shows that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, while visiting damaged metro rail station on 26 July 2024, defended her previous comment in the press conference dated 14 July 2024. Number 6, a video showing Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in course of her deliberation in a function of Jubo Mohila League held in July 2024 commented that the Kota movement was illogical and also commented Jamaat Shibir Manusher Jatna. Number 7, a video showing some adverse remark of Sheikh Hasina against the female students of Ruqya Hall of Dhaka University meeting at her office on 15 July 2024. A video showing how Sheikh Hasina asked Delhi to attack Dhaka. A video shows the scenario of how protesting student Mugdho was shot dead in the July movement. This video was broadcast by YouTube channel named Narrative Bangladesh on 19 April 2025. A video which shows the scene of shooting a young person named Ridoy by police in the July movement. This video was broadcast by YouTube channel named International Truth and Justice Project on 15 January 2025. A video named Jatrabari Evidence of a Massacre Bangla, showing the scenarios of killing and torturing some participants of the movement. This video was broadcast by International Truth and Justice Project YouTube channel on 14 January 2025. A video showing the scene of carrying bullet-stricken young man named Nafiz at farm gate of Dhaka. This video was broadcasted in Jamuna TV YouTube channel on 14 August 2024. A video showing how movement participant Khokon Chandra Burman was injured with gunshot in his face. It appears that the whole face, including mouth, nose and eyes of Khokon Chandra Burman have been completely disfigured. This victim deposed in the tribunal as PW number 1. A video titled Nirmam 19 July শতাধিক লাশ হাজারো গুলিবিদ্ধ রক্তের জন্য হাহাকার DMC 19. A video titled RAB helicopter attacked Kota Andolan 2024, showing operation upon the protesters from RAB helicopters at different parts of Dhaka in July 2024. A video showing how protester Imam Hassan Taim Bhuiya was shot dead at Jatrabari, Dhaka. 4 videos in a pen drive showing the passing of order by DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman to the subordinate, asking them to shoot the protesters below waist. A number of videos showing shooting upon the protesting people from helicopter. A video showing the scene of burning the dead bodies of protesting students and common people by police at Ashulia, Dhaka on 4th August 2025 during the July movement. A video showing the scene of Abu Said, a coordinator of July movement 24, being shot multiple times by police at a close range with lethal weapon. A video showing the scene of a dead body of protester Asabul Yamin being thrown from APC armed personnel carrier by police. A video which showing the accused Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal defending the use of lethal weapon by police. Extent of cruelty. It transpires from the evidences that cruelty of the extreme level was administered upon the dead and injured protesters. Police and activists of Awami League, Chhatra League and Jubo League blocked the entrance and exit of ambulances carrying the injuring protesters. Hospitals were asked not to give admission to the injured protesters. It appears from the testimony of PW2 that in some cases patients were searched by police and ruling party activists. Doctors were intimidated and some of the doctors were transferred due to giving treatment to the protesting injured persons. PW3 Parveen deposed that she found an injured young man shouting, save me, under Jatrabari flyover. Blood was coming out from both of his eyes. Parveen pulled him up and put him on her shoulder and looking for a rickshaw. And then 14 to 15 armed police shot them. The injured man, being hit by bullets, fell down from her shoulder. They also shot PW Parveen at her left eye, lower abdomen and other parts of the body. Blood was gushing out of her body and thus she fell down. Coordinator of the movement, Abu Said of Begum Ruqayya University, Rangpur, was shot at a close range. Doctors were forced to change his post-mortem report 5 times. PW8 Naim Chikdar was shot at a close distance of 5 meters. He was hit by 500 bullets and 3 hospitals refused to admit him, apprising that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina instructed to refuse admission to the protesting patients. PW8 also said that Chhatra League activists were searching him, and as such he was hidden in separate room by the doctors. It is revealed from the evidence of PW9 Shahina Begum that police burned the dead body of her son along with some other dead bodies in Ashulia of Dhaka. PW10 MD Enab Nazez Zaki also stated that his son was killed and then the dead body was burnt by police in Ashulia. We find from the testimony of PW10 Asabur was shot dead and set ablaze. It appears from the testimony of PW13 Dr. Muhammad Mahfuz Rahman that most patients admitted to the hospital had no skull. The detective branch members had forbidden the doctors not to be serious in the treatment of the protesting patients, and also that they had been instructed from the higher authorities not to release the protester patients admitted there. The patients were mostly aged 13 to 30 years. The DB also asked the doctors not to admit any more patients injured in the movement. This witness also said that in order to hide the injured patients from the sight of DB personnel, the doctors adopted some tactic like changing the names of the patients and the type of injury in the admission register and recording road accident or other reasons instead of bullet wounds. It appears from the evidence of PW15 Dr. Hassanul Banna that police and Awami League activists prevented treatment of the protester patients, prohibited new admission of such patients, checked admission register, took away list of patients, set down entrance of the hospital and prevented entrance and exit of the ambulances and patients. This witness also said that one patient named Mustaqin Billah was admitted through an alternative entrance. To save the protester patients, the doctors had to change the name of the patients and particular of their problems, remove them from the general ward to the post-operative ward, ICU special cabin. He added that treatment was given to such patients at risk of life of the doctors. We find from the deposition of PW18 Dr. Razibul Islam that he was forced to change the post-mortem report of Abu Said 4 to 5 times. He was threatened with the saying that if he does not change the cause of death of Abu Said, he would be prosecuted. He was further told that there was an intelligence report against him. PW19 Shariful Islam was injured in the bombardment in Kustia. 62 pellets were removed from his body and 500 more still in his body. It is revealed from the evidence of PW21 Dr. Zakia Sultana that on 18 July 2024 they received 200 patients aged about 14 to 25 years with bullet injuries. On 19 July 2024 also similar number of patients with bullet injuries were admitted in the hospital. Numerous patients with bullet injuries were admitted on 4th, 5th, 6th August 2024. It further appears from the evidence of this witness that out of apposite patients, 493 lost one eye forever, 11 lost both eyes forever, 28 lost vision of both eyes, and 47 lost vision of one eye. It appears from the evidence of TW22, Mr. Idris, that while his son Maruf Hussain, after being shot by police, was being taken to the hospital, a policeman poked the wounded area of his son with the rifle butt. PW23 Amena Akhtar deposed that while Home Minister Asaduzzaman Kamal and IGP Chaudhry Abdullah Mamun were passing across Datrabari, one police officer was showing them a video of their attacks on protesters and said, "Guli kori ekta, more ekta, ahuto hoy ekta, ektai jay, bakita jay na." It transfers from the testimony of PW27, Dr. Mashuk Ahmed, that Chhatralik activists stopped ambulance carrying protesting wounded near Shahidullah Hall of Dhaka University. They also checked the patient identity, asked the doctors not to treat the wounded protesters and also not to be so serious in their treatment. He further said 5 doctors were transferred elsewhere due to rendering treatment to protesters with bullet injuries. This witness also stated that the direction of the gunshot wounds of the patients treated on 19, 20, 21 July and 4-5 August in Dhaka Medical College Hospital was from the top to the bottom. He meant that the gunshot was done from above, which obviously implies helicopter. It appears from the evidence of PW47 Nahid Islam deposed that bullets were fired from helicopter and that many false cases were filed against the protesters, and also that the activists of Awam League, Jubu League and Chhatro League prevented the treatment and burial of protesters. Furthermore, some of the protesters were forcibly disappeared and many dead bodies of the protesters were concealed. He himself and some other student leaders were abducted. PW48 Ali Ahsan Junaid stated that on 15 July 2024, Chhatro League activists brutally attacked and injured the Dhaka University students, hindered going to the hospital and tortured them in the hospital. He further said that the protesters were fired from the helicopter. We find from the evidence of PW54, Mr. MD Alamgir, investigating officer, that the protester named as Ashabul Yamin was thrown down from the APC by the police. Summing up by the learned Chief Prosecutor. The learned Chief Prosecutor advanced argument on conclusion of the testimonies of the prosecution witnesses. He submitted that the instant case is an unprecedented and unexceptional one in the history of this subcontinent. After achieving independence in 1971, the people of the country had a great expectation and belief that all sorts of sufferings, poverty, tyranny and high-handedness of the government and the mighty quarters would come to an end and people would enjoy liberty, happiness and all fundamental rights, but all these have been doomed to ashes. The learned prosecutor dubbed the ruling party Awami League as fascist ab initio. From the very inception of independent Bangladesh, the Awami League government concentrated to perpetuate its power by way of exploitation, torture, killing, abduction, denial of democracy and fundamental rights of the people, freedom of press and speech, as well as social justice, and thereupon established dictatorship by forming Bhakshal. The then Awami League government led by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman planned in connivance with a neighboring country to weaken and abolish our glorious army and thus formed Rakhi Bahini, an armed organized parallel to the army. In the like way, after coming to the power in 2008, accused Sheikh Hasina's government committed the same acts like torture, abduction, killing, false prosecution, imprisoning, confinement, enforced disappearances, so dominated judiciary, restricted the freedom of press and freedom of speech. Sheikh Hasina oppressed the critics, writers, journalists, members of civil societies, lawyers and judges and ousted many of them from the country. The then Chief Justice Sheikh S.K. Sinha, eminent writer and journalist as well as historian Mahmudur Rahman, politician and journalist Pinaki Bhattacharya, Shafiq Rahman, Ilyas Hussain, Kanak Sarwar, Mushfiqul Fazl Ansari, Oliullah Numan, Shahed Alam, Jawad Nirjor, Tasneem Khalil, Julkarnain Shaer, Barrister Abdul Razzaq were driven out of the country for speaking the truth and criticizing the government's misrule, oppression and loopholes. In 2008, with Sheikh Hasina's conspiracy as that of her father, 57 senior army officers, while an deputation in Bangladesh Border Guard, that is BGB, were killed in an official congregation of Pilkhana BGB headquarters by the Awami League leaders and loyal army officers. No action was taken.
Thereafter, no action was taken against those killers. In 2013, the law enforcers and the ruling party activists killed hundreds of innocent young and underage madrasa students in a congregation arranged by Islamic organization Hifazat-e-Islam at Shapra Chattor, Dhaka, without any cogent reason, and thereafter no action was taken against the killers. For perpetuating her power, accused Sheikh Hasina politicized judiciary, army, law enforcing agencies, bureaucracies and all other departments and made